Hey guys, it's been a while and I'm really sorry about that, but I just thought I'd make this video to let you guys know kind of what's been going on in my life, where I've been, what I've been doing for the last, it's been like 7 months. Now, the best way that I could describe my year so far is really a lot of trial and error. Since my last video, the waking up at 4:31, I've been kind of working a lot. I decided to take a break from YouTube and to really just focus on my job and figure out what I was doing with the business and things like that, just so that I could kind of get that sorted and have an income so that I can survive, because apparently you need one of those. The year started out all right, and it was really just kind of working and doing a lot of client work, lots of random videos for different clients, until I kind of crashed, and I started to notice I was going in this pattern of being really motivated and really excited about my job, and then kind of questioning everything and starting to just like have a midlife crisis, but like not in the middle of your life and every sort of 2 or 3 weeks. So that wasn't good. So I started to kind of take notes on what was happening mentally and just emotionally in my life, so that I could try and figure this out. And it took probably about 6 months, and I still haven't figured it out. And I think I've come to the conclusion that no one ever really figures it out. And it's kind of just a continuous game that we're playing with ourselves, is to figure out what is happening here. The main thing that's been occupying my time has really been a lot of client work. It's sort of freelance style work, lots of brand strategy sort of stuff. I've actually got a girl that works for me who does social media management, and we've managed a bunch of different social media profiles, which has all been a really, really interesting experiment. But I've kind of noticed that it's still not the type of work that I really, really love doing, which I think is something that a lot of us need to focus on, is finding work that we really like doing, because we spend so much of our life doing that sort of work that I think it would be kind of a waste to not enjoy what you're doing. So after doing the same sort of work for a few months, I kind of realized that I definitely wasn't getting the fulfillment that I wanted from that work, and I decided that something needed to change, and that something was bringing YouTube back into the equation and kind of starting the podcast that I always wanted to start, and just really getting stuck in on some of those creative projects. But I had to figure out a way that I could balance all of those things and still have a kind of strategy to get money to fund all of those things. So I sat down with my dad and my older sister, who both work with me, and they both support me a lot in kind of business and that sort of stuff. And we kind of decided that it was best that I did a 1 week on and 1 week off sort of thing. So at the moment I was working on average about 20 billable hours a week, which were hours that I could actually bill clients for. I was doing a little bit more than that just on kind of business development stuff and just other random work that had to be done. But it was about 20 hours a week. And I thought, okay, well, what if we took that 20 hours a week and put 2 weeks into one, and I did 1 week of 40 hours of just billable work that I kind of came into the office, smashed out that work, and then went home. And that would make me enough money for the 2 weeks. And I'd start saving money again, which would be awesome. And I thought on the off week, I could be doing kind of the same amount of work, but just all creative projects, just having that whole week to focus on like YouTube and the podcast and that sort of stuff. So this is my first week of actually doing that, and I just had a full creative week, and I've made so far 2 podcasts and 2 YouTube videos, which is awesome, because I don't think I've ever made that much content in 1 week, and that's going to last me like the next 4 weeks or so, unless I post 2 videos a week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the podcast itself has kind of gone off to a really good start. I decided to actually change my goal of having the Quality Banter podcast, which is what I wanted to do originally, which was interviewing different people and kind of chatting about creative stuff. I've changed that to just being a podcast with me, my brother, and one of my closest friends, Kayla. And it's kind of just a talk show podcast. It's something that we can have fun with, that you can listen to when you kind of just want to tune out and just listen to something dumb for a while. It's just really us talking shit for about half an hour or so. But the Quality Banter podcast is actually acting as kind of a test podcast for me, so that I can learn how kind of the format works, how to talk best in that situation, how to keep the conversation flowing, how to keep it interesting. So it's a work in progress. It's something that I am 100% expecting the first few to be just really terrible, and to kind of pick it up from there. Once we start getting really good at that, I'm actually going to start the Dysfunctional Creative podcast, which is me interviewing other creative people about their time as a dysfunctional creative, which I think we have all had. It's about that kind of period after school where you're figuring out what you want to do and what you want to be, and figuring out what makes you happy. And hopefully some of these people have figured out what makes them happy or found something to kind of occupy them in the meantime. But I think it's just hopefully going to provide some sort of comfort to other lost and dysfunctional creatives like me. So that I am really, really looking forward to, because it's just going to be able to work with a bunch of cool people. Once I get YouTube and the podcast projects kind of down and they're flowing and working really well, I'd like to start working on some other kind of bigger projects, like a short film or a documentary series, or something like that. So hopefully that's in the not so distant future, but you never know what could happen, because I could have a mental breakdown next week, and you won't see me for a while. But hopefully that doesn't happen again. So yeah, one thing that did happen in the last few months was actually I booked a trip overseas with complete strangers with 2 days notice. And if you'd like to know more about that kind of story, I've made another video and that's going to be up next week. I think that's about it for this video. I've been rambling on for a little bit. I needed to just make something to kind of get back into this. So I'm sorry if this video dragged on a little bit. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you would like to kind of keep up with me and see what happens next in my crazy and unpredictable life, definitely hit that subscribe button, because I have no idea what's going to happen next, and I think I'm still trying to figure that out. But let's figure it out together. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you all later. Bye.